This particular course, refresher and updating course for engineers, as you know, it has come in basis on few circulars which have been issued. As per STCW 95, you all remember it was a 10 days course. When it came as STCW 2010, that is a Mella amendments, the upgradation course started for 11 days. And now it's the second cycle of the course, which you all have been doing across. And this has become a 3 days. And the course is become 3 days because of few circulars which have come in DG shipping. I'll just go on the circular. These are a few circulars because you should know the facts as to how this course is and what the syllabus is, etc. You should know. So the first circular which it came across is DGS Circular 143 of 2018. This is a circular which was dated on 26th of March 2018, which talks on the refresh and updating course for reversion of certificate of competency of marine engineers and officers under STU 78 as amended in 2010 amendments. So this circular, you have an access on the website of DG Shipping. I'm not going to read the circular for you, but then I'm just going to highlight few important points of the circular, which would probably make you understand as regards what the entry requirements are. Also, it will also give you an update of what the syllabus of this course is, the duration of course, so and what the certificate is going to look like. So this is a circular of a 6-page circular which was issued by Mr. Kamath from DG Shipping. I think I'm just scrolling through. I'll just highlight the important point of it. The entry of this course, basically what you require is a seafarer who is having at least 1 year of sea service, he should have in last 5 years. At least 1 year of sea service in last 5 years is what the requirement for any seafarer who has been sailing. He should be having this thing. If you see this procedure of revision of marine officers, undertake a refresher and updating training for revision of 3 days. I mentioned you yesterday, this 3 days course, it's in a physical mode, but then since it's a virtual mode, there's another circular which speaks on not more than 6 hours of class, which I'll show you in due course. And then you have this refresher of PST, firefighting, AFF, PSCRB, and MFA. You can read this point number 3.3, which refers that complete the approved refresher course for PST, PSCRB, FPFF, AFF, and MFA, and which our certificates are 5 years old. So this is one more requirement for undergoing this course. Of course, this is an important point. 3.4 talks on professional development, competence, approved seagoing service of at least 1 year in the 12 months. It mentioned 12 months in last 5 years. And for people who are sure, okay, what happens to them? Because people who are sailing, yes, they do 12 months of sea service, but people who are sure, if it's like a full-time, if you see 3.4 Roman number 3, it states that full-time technical surveyor for a period of at least 2 years with a maritime administrator or with an organization recognized by Indian Maritime Administration and engaged in related. So surveyors, etc., will have to do a 2 years experience they'll have to have in that field. If it's a training institute faculty, full-time lecturer, again, as per point B, it is again 2 years. He will need to have, he or she would need to have 2 years as faculty. And if it's going to be a full-time lecturer at the pre-C, then it will be 3 years. So these are the requirements for undergoing this course. It is common for all engineers, right from a class 4, class 2, class 1. You hold an extra first class also, then also the rules remain the same. There is one course in between for those who are settled ashore. If they have not done this bridging course, which is from 95 to 2010, which you all have done for 11 days course, then there is a course which they also need to undergo to attend this course. So anybody right now who is attending this course will need to have an STCW 78 as amended 2010 Manila Amendment certificate. Then only they are eligible for doing this course as well. So this is I think seeing is believing. So that's the reason I'm trying to show you exactly what this course is. So, and the syllabus part, etc. Those who want in detail can do it. There are provisions like a person who doesn't have that particular experience, he can go for an oral examination. If you see Roman number 4, pass an approved test or an oral examination, attend a preparatory course, etc. Those are the things which I don't want to confuse you further. So I would just like to highlight the important points which are for you and not more than anything else. Those who want in detail can go through. And the syllabus, etc., is also given. This is a 6-page circular with annexures 1 and 2, which was issued by DG Shipping. These are topics which basically are a part of syllabus, which we call, like you see discussion on solar smart pole ST Civil 2010. So I'll be covering on ST Civil 2010 today. That's a topic which is required to be covered. So this is a syllabus. As per syllabus, will go across. So to sum up here, in the notation you see the courses which you require to do, and I hope each of you are aware that this courses which you need to do in addition to this course, you need to have for revalidation. Once you finish all these courses, refresher of PST, PSCRB, AFF, FPFF, and MFA, along with revalidation course for engineers, you can submit to MMT online, and you get your COC validated for 5 years. Basically, this certificate, as of now, due to pandemic, the refresher courses are all valid for 18 months. But this course certificate being purely theoretical course, you're not missing out any topic as what you could have been doing in a classroom mode and virtual mode. Nothing is missed out. So the certificate also will be issued for 5 years. The validity of this particular course certificate would be for 5 years. And after this, when you're going to submit this particular application online to through your portal, DG Shipping, you can select whichever MD you want to apply for, and all the documents are submitted online. There is no physical meeting at all. Everything is been done online, and DG is quite fast. And I think in a week's time to maximum 10 days time, you get a sticker of revalidation at your home. You will get it by courier at home, which you need to paste it in your page number 8 or 7. Generally, it is. You can paste it on your COC. That is valid for 5 years. The question which I like to add on here is there have been confusions as regards 5 years from when. So again, the rule states that it is for 5 years if your COC is expiring within next 5 years. Sorry, within next 6 months. It will expiring. Then it will be from the date of expiry of your COC, right? Within next 6 months, if it's getting expired and you do the course today, then your COC will be valid for 5 years from the date of expiry of your COC. But if your COC is already expired, if your COC is already expired and you're doing the course today, it could have got expired 1 year back, or it could have got expired 2 months back, or 1 day back, then the validity would be 5 years from the date of completion of your course and then exit exams. Exit exams also will be on now. So the date when you complete that, it is 5 years from the date of generally completion of the course. Exit exams are done the same day generally by all. So I'll put it across that. So is there any confusions in this? Is there any doubts, clarifications? Because that's regarding the course. So you should know clearly how this course is designed and what the requirements of this course are and what your validity of the certificates are. So it is 5 years from the date, and the certificate, what would be issued. This is the format of certificate what DG Shipping has made, and now it's going to be online. What DG Shipping is going to issue themselves. So you'll have the name of the institute. Everything is automated. You don't have anything from the institute. The exit exams are independent. The certificate also, as I told you, would be independent. Okay, so this particular certificate would be issued online, and there'll be digital signatures. What you see is format is slightly changed from the date of issue of the circular, which will be the date. The signature will be seen that, okay, name and signature of the course in charge, whoever is there. You'll find digitally signed by, for this course, it's Mr. V.R. Venkateshan. Then it will return V.R. Venkateshan, digitally signed. As head of institute, if I sign across, then it will be digitally signed by Sanjeev Vakil. That's it. You will not have it physically signed like what you see a signature, a digital sign of Mr. Kamath on the circular. You'll not find that way. Your signature would be taken from your portal, from your e-profile, whatever is there, from the DGS profile, whatever is your signature, what you've posted there, the same thing will be seen in the certificate. Otherwise, the course in charge as well as the signature of the head of the institute would be digitally signed. So don't get confused that, okay, you don't have a signature. So that is what is digitally signed. DG Shipping has come out with very secure norms whereby digital sign to get a signature of digital signature itself, it's like income tax departments where you have a lot of process. You need to have your PAN card and other things, and then the digital signatures are issued. And the only person who is having a digital signature, I'm only authorized to do my signature. The course in charge will do his signature. So the idea to bring this was to bring down all the means through which there could be some forgery. So that is completely stopped now. It's a good initiative by DG Shipping. The certificate will have the rear side. You will have these topics, what you are getting covered. Whatever you see here are the topics which you'll be seeing behind the certificate. There are doubts which people have. So my earlier certificate, 2010 when I did earlier, or 95 certificate, rear side you had PSR upgraded, AFF upgraded, those things, etc. But this course is now independent. It's only the topics which you're going to be covered in this particular course, and not any other modular courses or refresher courses, because those courses are independent courses now. And PSR also, there are doubts from students generally. PSR is once for life. So once you have a 2010 amendments topics which are covered in the last revalidation, then you are through. So you don't have to again do any course like PSR separately. Of course, the other 4 courses you have been doing across, which probably yes, you can undergo. These are things. So as regards MFA, again, the circular is very clear. There has been circular anti-engine DG Shipping order which has been issued 36 of 2020. This was the order issued on 5th of November 2020. Generally, as per STCW, the requirements of medical first aid refresher is not there. As per the STCW 2010 amendments which has been issued, if you see the table of STCW, you will find this is the book of STCW, which probably you should know. This is the latest edition of STCW. If you see that in this particular table, you will find that in the code B, if you go through, you will find the tabular column where you will find that the refresher course or revalidation for medical first aid is not mandatory, it's not required. But as per MLC, a seafarer will need to have a medical certificate. So which means keeping seafarers into account and keeping MLC rule into account, yes, people have been doing across, and I think most of the companies are insisting that they do have a refresher of medical first aid, because tomorrow during a PSC inspection, there should not be cases where the PSC inspector stops the vessel just because of not having a particular seafarer, not having a medical first aid. So you can take a call. You go strictly by rule. As per STC, if you saw the circular which I did show you, which was issued 143 of 2018, where it says medical first aid is required, AMDs were insisting. And as on date, this particular circular, if you see this DGS order, which was issued as recent as 5th of November 2020, where again, this circular also mentions the requirement of medical first aid and medical care, which were the 2 circulars which were issued, and whether it can be done or not done. It is just a general table which was issued by DG Shipping regarding medical first aid and medical care. The last sentence, if you see the last para, all DGS institutes approved for conducting refresher of medical care, total 6 hours, are hereby permitted to do the refresher program of medical care course through virtual mode. This was for issuance of medical care and medical first aid certificate course itself. But practically speaking across, if you go by rules, medical first aid is not mandatory for your COC revalidation as on date. If you go by rule, okay, MD has been insisting, it depends from MDs, they have been insisting based on the circular which is in place. So, but then you can take call, companies do require it. So you could take a call on that particular part of it. So that's regarding that particular circular. And there's one more circular which has come, 144 of 2018, which was in continuation to 143 of 2018, which is also, okay, not pertaining to you directly. It is for those, if you see this point, point number realizing those who have not done this 11 days refresher updating training for engineers, para 3. For them, I think this consideration was given where they could appear for a preparatory course. They could attend a preparatory course because this particular course of 11 days has not been conducted by many of the institutes in India. So for benefit of them, DG Shipping did come out with, in consideration of foregoing on careful examination of the case for benefit of the engineering officers who could not upgrade their COC for want of 11 days of refresher updating course for operation, the director is hereby granting permission for this engineering officers to undergo preparatory course of the same grade of COC held or one grade higher in lieu of the 11 days refresher operating training, which means a chief engineer who has not sailed for long, maybe a superintendent who has not sailed for the last 20 years and he wants to get back to sea and he wants to revalidate. How does it do? If he doesn't have from 95 to 2010, the 11 days course is not there, then in that case, he can attend the engineering management course, which is a 2 months course for, which is called as a preparatory course for class 1 COC holders. So he could attend that, and then certainly after that he can do this course also of 3 days and other refresher course, and he can still get himself revalidated. So this is one provision on that particular circular as well. So these are the few important circulars which you should know. So the whole purpose of going on the circulars was just to show you that what are the importance of the circular, and which I told you. One more circular on 20 of 2020, which yesterday I was mentioning across. This is the actual circular which opened up the training in India. Again, all these courses which have come back again on virtual mode, it is just because of this particular circular which was issued by DG Shipping on 3rd of August 2020, wherein all this training which had been stopped due to this pandemic had restarted. And initially, the number of courses which we restarted were limited to 13. You could see the point number 11, refresh of PST, PSCRB, FPFF. And if you see the course which you are doing across course number 6, Revalidation Course for Engineers. So this 13 courses which you see here were the first set of courses which were started by DG Shipping on a virtual mode, other than the competency courses which started on May 19th. May 19th onwards, the competency courses started after the lockdown, and the modular and refresher course wise based on 20 of 2020, the other courses started. And here in this circular, it's very clear that whatever 18 months, if you see the point number 13, it's very clear. Again, there's a clarity required. Many of them do ask, why not 5 years? It's very clear in this particular thing. Point number 13, all COPs, whether it's PST, PSRB, FPFF, AFF, or MFA, issued after completion of 3-tier approach system in the order shall be valid for a period of 18 months only from the day of exit exams. Is that clear, sir? So it's just 18 months from the time of your exit exams is what DG Shipping is issuing this particular and it's been signed by Honorable Mr. Amitabh Kumar, Director General of Shipping. So he had issued this particular thing, and he had released a fantastic SOP as regards the course, how the course is to be done, how CFAS will do. And in this particular circular, step-by-step process has been given across as to how a candidate will enroll and what he will do or she will do. It is very clearly put across. So please, those who want to know in detail about the course, you are free to do it. If you see the point number 6, immediately after payment of the fees, the MTI shall inform the candidates via SMS or email to appear for exit exams within the 1 hour window given for appearing for exit exams from the time of fees is paid. So generally, as per the circular, you need to appear for your exit exams within 1 hour of your completion of the course. On the 4 days completion of course, within 1 hour, you need to appear for the course. That's what the circular states. But since the process is new, I think that it has considered, and we have been receiving feedbacks that students have been able to do the exams even after that. Nonetheless, but if you go as per circular, it's very clear that the exams will have to be done within 1 hour. That is one more clarification which people do have. So please go through the circular. It's quite important that it's all only for you to go in depth as to what rules and regulations are followed, whatever different NTAs might follow. But then if you go strictly by the DD shipping circular, it is very clear that this is what you need to do it. So I'm not going to go in depth on this particular circular because you can go in your leisure, you can just go through circulars. I only wanted to show you these particular points which were highlighting. And this point very clearly states that also you cannot do more than 6 hours of classes per day. That's the reason this 3 days course has become 4 days, because DG did consider that to sit in front of a computer, people who have not been doing it for all these years, sitting in front of a computer, yes, it could be difficult. So that's the reason this course itself has become from 3 days to 4 days for each of you. Otherwise, this course, if it was in physical mode, it would have been just a 3 days course. So that's regarding that circular. So these are the various circular. You can note it down. Going back to NT Engine Circular 2 of 2015, which I was mentioning across, there's a circular which speaks on a combined course of refresher and AFF, a combined course of PST and PSCRB. From 2015, the circular when it was issued, people could do 2 courses together. Till 2020, 8th of August, all were doing a combined course. One certificate, and you had 2 courses mentioned across. But then when the e-governance system started and when this particular online courses started, you didn't have those courses ready under the e-learning system and exit exams. So that is the reason each of you have been doing across a separate course. As on date, you are doing a separate course. You are doing on a virtual mode, so it doesn't matter you doing 4 different dates this course. But think of a day when the institutes are setting up and you require a 5-year certificate. Nobody can expect a person CFAT to say come all the way from a different part of the country to Chennai and do this course for 4 days. Accommodation, charges, your flight, and everything. I think it's going to be expensive. And since this refresher of AFF, PSCRB are not done in many institutes, okay, as compared to what other courses are done, because the infrastructure requirements are quite more in these courses. So certain institutes do this course. So for interest of those seafarers, DG Shipping will be issuing a circular shortly now. Again, if you see the e-learning, recently DG Shipping has again come back with a combined course. Combined course, don't get confused. Don't do that course right now. Till the time institutes are ready or circular is ready for each of you to do this combined course, like what you are doing between 2012 to 2015. Between 2015 to 2020, what you are doing across this combined course. Please wait for the circular. If you are in a hurry to go back to sea, then you finish these 4 courses independently and go across. But if you are not in a hurry, if you have just come down and you think you are going to be here for 3-4 months, then I would certainly recommend that you could wait for your refresher AFF, PSCRB, PST, FFF. If you have to do on a combined course, combined mode, which would be, in that case, you'll have 1 exit exam instead of 2 exit exams of refresher, FFF separate, AFF separate. You'll have a combined AFF and FFF refresher exam and 1 e-learning. Same, it becomes half. So the course itself duration becomes half. That e-learning is there. I repeat again, please don't do the refresher of AFF and FFF, which is just recently posted in the e-learning of DG Shipping, because if you do that and you're doing only a refresher AFF separate, refresher FFF separate, it will not map. It will not map the DG Shipping portal, and you will not get your certificate. Your certificate, to get a certificate, you need to do the individual e-learning if you are doing the individual virtual training. Is that clear, sir? So I think I have flooded you with circulars, numbers. You don't have to memorize anything. Probably the circulars which I put across, you could take a screenshot, and later on for your reference, probably this circular, if you are thorough in the sense, if you have any doubts on your course, curriculum, anything, probably these are circulars which you need to take care of.